This video will show you how to set up and build the Blackmagic Ursa Mini from the Kitroom. Firstly, take the tripod plate out of the bag and attach it to the Manfrotto tripod. The Ursa comes stock with an attached shoulder plate. This shoulder plate has a built-in VCT mount. To mount this to your plate, align the triangle at the front and the pin at the back. Slide this forward and you'll hear it lock in place. To safely release your camera from the plate, pull the release catch out and push this lever. This will unlock the plate. Now slide the supplied 15mm rods into the front of your Ursa Mini and lock them in. The Ursa Mini houses a Super 35mm sensor with an EF mount. To mount a lens to your Ursa, push this button in and turn the cap anti-clockwise. You will see a red dot on both the mount and your lens. Match these up and turn your lens clockwise to lock it in place. You'll hear a slight click to signify it is locked in. To mount the tilter follow focus, slide it into your preferred side and lock it in place. Always make sure your connection is solid between the focus gear and the lens gearing, otherwise you may experience slipping when turning the focus wheel. This lever unlocks the middle of the follow focus, allowing you to easily change lenses. A small matte box comes supplied with your Ursa Mini. To mount this, screw in the appropriate size thread adapter to your lens. A 77mm and 72mm thread comes with the set, as these are the thread sizes of the provided Samyang lenses. Now place the matte box onto your lens and secure it in place. The Ursa Mini comes with a handle and an arm extension for shoulder mounted work. This has a rosette attachment and can either be mounted directly to the side of the Ursa or into its shoulder plate. Use the supplied jack connection lead to power the handle. The Ursa Mini runs V-Lock batteries. Lock one into the plate to power it up. The Ursa comes stocked with a small HD monitor. To mount this on your camera, use the supplied magic arm and screw it into one of the mounts on the top handle, or on the right side of the camera body. To power this, use the D-tap to MPF power cable supplied. Plug this into the output on the Swit battery and into the back of the monitor. To link your monitor to your camera, use the supplied SDI cable. There is an SDI port located at the back of the Ursa Mini. To turn on your Blackmagic, click this lever. The Ursa Mini records to CFast 2.0 cards. You can house two cards within the left-hand side of the Mini. The first thing to set up is your desired shooting settings. To access the menu of the Ursa, click this button on the camera body. To navigate to the menu, you use the onboard touchscreen. To adjust your camera settings, use the Recording tab. Here you can choose your recording codec and resolution. The Ursa Mini has two recording options. You can either shoot in Apple ProRes or Blackmagic's flavour of compressed RAW. Capturing in the Apple ProRes codec is what we recommend when shooting with this camera. There are a few variations of ProRes available to shoot with the Ursa. These are broken down into three groups, XQ and 444 being the highest quality. These capture in 12 bits per channel and include an alpha channel at a very high data rate. HQ and 422 capture 10 bits per channel with no alpha, but still with a high data rate. While ProRes LT and Proxy capture 8 bits per channel and are designed for transcoding and proxy workflows, it is recommended to capture your footage at anything above 422. If you're shooting a project that requires a lot of post manipulation or VFX work, it is advised to use 444 or XQ. Due to its high data rate, however, the file sizes of shooting in this codec should be considered. As with any project, it's recommended to test your camera's codec and its parameters within pre-production to ensure it's suitable for your project's needs. The next page over allows you to choose what dynamic range setting you wish to record in. The Ursa has three options: video, which records straight into Rec 709. This is not recommended to be used as a capturing space, as you will not have much room to manipulate the look of your footage in post-production. Film. Using this setting is recommended as you will capture the largest amount of colour information and dynamic range possible for this camera. And extended video. This is an in-between space, allowing you more room to manipulate your footage in post, but not the widest colour space possible. Here you can also set up your project's frame rate. This should be the agreed frame rate you wish to edit in for your production. Here you can also access your off-speed recording options. Remember, if you choose to shoot off-speed, it will always conform to your project's frame rate. You can also window the sensor, which will crop your image. This will allow you to shoot in a higher frame rate than when using the full sensor width. Now let's walk around the monitor of the Ursa to better understand the setup. You can access the majority of the Ursa's settings from around the LCD. These settings then correspond with the exterior buttons on the left-hand side of the camera body. Tapping the icon at the top left of your monitor brings up the exposure and frame guides. Here you can choose from zebra settings, focus peaking, aspect ratio overlays, frame assisting tools, safe area guides, and false color. Touching the FPS icon allows you to change your project frame rate, as well as your off-speed recording. You can quickly turn high speed on and off by using this button. Touching shutter allows you to change the shutter angle or speed. This can also be quickly accessed from the side of the camera body, using this dial to shift up and down your speed while operating. As the Ursa comes supplied with prime lenses, the iris tab is not functioning. If you attach an electronic lens, you can use these keys on the camera body to change the iris value. Touching the timecode option will change your display to show free run or set run. Here, you can change your camera's ISO. The base rating for the Ursa Mini is 800. It is recommended that you light for this sensitivity when capturing with this sensor. Boosting your ISO, instead of introducing more light into your scene, can produce more noise in your camera's image. Use this button on the side of your camera to quickly shift your ISO. This allows you to change the white balance and tint of your camera. Here you can choose from a number of preset Kelvin ranges, as well as an auto white balance for use with a white card. You can also quickly change your white balance using this dial. The Ursa also comes stock with some internal ND filters. Use this wheel to cycle through their strengths. This shows your current battery level. On the bottom left of the screen there is a histogram showing the exposure of your current frame. There are 4 options to hit record on the Ursa. This button on the screen, 2 recording buttons on the camera body, as well as a recording button on the hand grip. Hit the play button on the camera body to review and play back your footage. To indicate which card is armed for recording, the card will be shown with a blue overlay instead of a grey one. Tap each card to bring up the media menu. Here you can see how much recorded time is left per card, as well as how to erase your CFast card. When you erase your media, you'll be able to format each card to either Mac OS or exFAT. Formatting in exFAT will allow both Windows and Mac operating systems to read and write off your storage media. To switch card, tap the card name at the top of the screen. To manipulate your camera's metadata information, swipe left on the monitor. The bottom right of the screen shows your audio levels. Tapping this will bring up the gain options for your respective audio channels, as well as the headphone and volume adjustment. The Ursa Mini has 2 full XLR inputs located at the top of the camera body. This button allows you to switch the voltage level of your inputs, be it for a mixer or microphone. Underneath this, you can choose to send phantom power to each input. In the audio tab of the Ursa, you can choose what source each channel is recording from, either using the internal microphone or external inputs. This shows the audio levels and gain settings. You can also use these dials on the body for manual gain adjustment. On the next page, we can add a gain pad to your external inputs or internal microphone, as well as adjusting the headphone and speaker volume. You can monitor your audio using the headphone jack at the back of the camera body. This also houses your SDI output for an external monitor, an SDI input, time-coded and out, and your DC power input. The monitor window allows you to manipulate what overlays are showing on your LCD as well as your SDIs. This allows you to choose each output, and this lets you manipulate what you want to see on your display. The All tab allows you to change the parameters of your chosen exposure tool or display setting. The Setup menu allows you to change your shutter measurement as well as some other display options. This flicker-free option relates to the lighting environment you're working in, if it is operating at 50 or 60 Hz. The UK standard is 50 Hz. You can also assign your function button parameters in this menu. Here you can adjust the behavior of each button and their parameter, as well as choosing which output you want this to be displayed on, or alternatively, using a preset option to change a certain function. These 3 function buttons can be found here on the left-hand side of the camera body. When you're finished with your camera, head to the Setup menu and click Reset to Factory Defaults before returning it to the kit room. For any questions about this item, or any from our store, contact the kit room.